Well, Jim, let's go to these ratings. AEW Dynamite, Wednesday, July 31st, 2024 on TBS. 8 to 10:05 p.m. On average, did 609,000 viewers.
Oh, boy, howdy. That's down, what, 180,000 or whatever from last week?
Oh, just about. Last week's episode was 786,000. This is the lowest overall average since June 19th, so not that big a period of time. Lowest key demo since June 19th, again, same day.
What happened June 19th?
Wasn't that episode that was abnormally low and no one could figure out why? It was like 500,000 or something.
Well, I could figure out why because I watched it, but all right. But and now they're going to say, well, it's the Olympics. And, we've said with the basketball tournament or whatever else, the all-night gas station, well, they do that every year. They don't do the Olympics every year, but they do them every 4 years. That means that AEW was against them in 2020, right?
That is correct. That's the pandemic, actually. I don't remember.
So I was going to say they didn't do this number during the pandemic or during the last Olympics, but that was the pandemic era, so things may have been skewed. So we'll give them a chance. See what happens. Well, where did they start and where did they finish?
Let me pull that up. Give me a moment. And by the way, as per WrestleTix, this event, Greenville, South Carolina, the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, estimated tickets distributed 2,961 in Greenville, South Carolina.
We used to do that almost every Monday night at the auditorium.
Well, wow, look at this market-to-market comparison. Going back to 2022. August 2022, SmackDown, 6,585. February 23, SmackDown, 9,756. August 5th, 23, Collision, 4,524. Monday Night Raw is there on October 30th, 2023, 7,959. And there again, this past May on the 13th, 8,326. So you can't say the market's dead.
Ooh, and then 2961.
2961.
All righty. Well, sometimes the cake doesn't quite rise.
Well, let's go to the quarter.
That was profound, wasn't it?
That was somewhat profound. And did Mama Cornette say that? Who said this?
Well, a lot of people. Betty Crocker.
Oh.
She said it.
I guess she was like a mother to a lot of people that spent a lot of time in the kitchen.
Yeah, Duncan Hines, he said it.
Duncan Hines. Any more you want to name?
Well, I'm just
Swiss Miss?
No, I'm just talking about famous cake making people.
Famous.
When your mother made you a cake, would you rather have the Betty Crocker cake or the Duncan Hines cake?
I don't remember. I mean, I think she made Betty Crocker cakes. I don't know.
Oh,
I never thought too much about it. Obviously, you have. Tell me what the answer is.
I always liked the Duncan Hines better than the Betty Crocker.
Why?
It was better. That's the way Mama Cornette made it.
Oh, once again, we have the quarterly breakdowns.
So Dynamite did 609,000 and a chocolate 3-layer cake. What was the first quarter? Where'd they start?
Well, these were compiled by WrestleNomics, quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. The MJF Will Ospreay live promo and Lance Archer versus Will Ospreay with picture-in-picture ads. 656,000 viewers.
Wow, so even the Big Bang didn't hand it off to him. And by the way, did you notice that Modern Family has gone away at 10 o'clock now? It's Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers, yeah.
It's like we'll just put on a show that we can cut into whenever we feel like it.
It's interesting, too. That show became a big hit on a network that didn't get a lot of attention, and now they're moving it to the bigger network.
Yeah, but if people tune in to see Modern Family, they miss the first 10 minutes, they don't know what the fuck's going on. With Impractical Jokers, it's like a bag of potato chips. You can just dive in and start munching.
Well, let's munch over to segment 2. if that is a thing, 8:15 to 8:30 p.m. The continuation of Ospreay versus Archer and the post-match with MJF, Kyle Fletcher, and Don Callis, the Swerve Strickland video, and an ad break, 599,000 viewers.
Jesus Christ, they can't drop any further or they won't make their average.
Well, we go to quarter three, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m. The Learning Tree backstage promo, is that now the faction too? The faction's the Learning Tree?
I think so. I think it's a big tree, which ought to meet a high wind.
Big roots in the ground.
Big roots.
The start of Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. the start
Needs a fungicide on it also. Something for the root rot.
The start of Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander with picture-in-picture ads. 593,000 viewers.
I mean, the good thing is they're not losing as much as they normally do.
Well, we go to quarter four, 8:45 to 9 p.m. The continuation of Nightingale versus Statlander in the post-match with Stokely Hathaway, Jeff Jarrett and Bryan Danielson's backstage angle, an ad break, and Bryan Danielson's live promo, at least the start of it, 601,000 viewers.
I bet 599, 593, 601. This is bathroom break fluctuation at numbers like that. So they're holding what they got. Is this the most dedicated base viewer that will not watch the Olympics or go to their friend's wedding or whatever the case? They got to be there.
Well, they're there for quarter five, the big 9 o'clock hour, 9 to 9:15 p.m. Let's find out. The continuation of Danielson's promo and Swerve Strickland's confrontation with him. The Danielson-Jarrett backstage angle, once again. Roderick Strong, Roosh, and the Beast Mortos versus the Conglomeration, if we can call them that. 645,000 viewers.
Well, that's a nice surprise because they normally 9 o'clock lately has not been good to AEW. But they picked up 44,000 people. That's the high point except for the first quarter. So then now they can drop a little bit and still make their average.
And it says a little bit, I guess, about the interest in Danielson. But we go now to quarter six, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m. The continuation of that six-man match. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn backstage promo. An ad break. The Mariah May backstage interview. 584,000 viewers.
Okay, so they lost the 44,000 they picked up and another 17 on top of that.
We go to quarter seven, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. Tony Storm's ramp angle, if that's what we're calling it. Camille versus Brittany Jade. Mercedes Moné's live promo. An ad break. And the start of Hangman Adam Page versus Darby Allin. 598,000 viewers.
That's a miracle that they got 14,000 back for that, but they've been, let's see, 1, 2, 3 quarters over 600 and 4 quarters under 600 so far in the program.
Well, we go to quarter eight. I remind you there's an overrun. Quarter eight, 9:45 to 10 p.m. The continuation of Page versus Allen, 2 times of picture-in-picture. 590,000 viewers. 5-minute overrun, 617,000.
Yeah, that 5 minutes they rushed to the television. That's the Impractical Jokers fans. So, again, they kind of kept it. They were, except for the first quarter, 656, they were between 584 and 645 through the whole shebang. So it goes down, but these are the diehards, so there's not as much fluctuation. When they had an extra couple 100,000 people that wanted to give it a chance but didn't need to live and die with it, they would lose more, but their average was a little bit better because it was front loaded. So pick your poison.
Well, we've also talked about the problem that is the commentary team, how awful they are. They ruin the show. They don't let big moments sound or feel as big as they could. Perhaps you'd like to watch AEW Dynamite from another country with a foreign announce team that you may not know what they say, but they sound strong and convicted in what they are believing and saying.
And convicted?
Well, and they
yes, a group of felons, ladies and gentlemen.
They have convictions, is what I meant to say.
Conviction. They've got convictions on their record, but folks, you can watch these criminals, miscreants, and malcontents from any country in the world that you want to without leaving your house, because our friends at ExpressVPN, they're like a New Orleans streetwalker. They'll take you around the world and won't charge you much money. Because, folks,
that may not be the best comparison for our very good friends, the very, very nice people over at ExpressVPN.
What, instead of New Orleans, I should have said Chicago?
Really? Chicago like that?
Well, have you been to the right places in Chicago?
Guess not.
They'll take you around the world and drop you off at Wrigley Field for $1.95. But I'll tell you what, folks, going online without ExpressVPN is like not closing the door when you use the bathroom. That means people are peeking when you're leaking and they're yapping about your crapping. Going online without ExpressVPN is like forgetting to mute yourself on one of those Zoom meetings where you're in a meeting with all the people you work with and you stand up and your pants are unzipped and they see that Willie is flapping in the breeze. Going online without ExpressVPN is like checking your bag at the airport without a lock on it. And then you see the baggage thing coming down on the way to the plane, and there's a bunch of people with greasy hands and hairy knuckles looking through your private articles, your underwear, your underpants, your undergarments. Some of it being wrapped around their greasy fingers and sniffed wholeheartedly.
Okay, we get the picture. You don't have to really talk about this too much.
Going online without ExpressVPN is like getting undressed with your window curtains wide open. And folks, I highly recommend that if you live in a proper neighborhood, because you'll get some traffic. I mean, you can set a goddamn lemonade stand up outside your front.
No.
Certain places.
Let's not encourage any unlicensed peep shows to develop for the
Well, where do you get that peep show
unsuspecting customer? No, that's not.
I think you walk up to the door and there's a round hole about waist high and you stick your money in there.
No, again.
And folks, using the internet without ExpressVPN is like taking a call from your doctor on a train or a bus and you're on speaker and the whole train knows that antibiotic-resistant strain of gonorrhea just won't go away. You don't want to let yourself in for situations like this, folks. You need ExpressVPN to keep you from these embarrassing personal situations. They will hide your dirty, filthy, perverted habits from the world. They will not let people know of the horrible crotch rot that's infected your yeast-ridden body. They will not let you fail, ladies and gentlemen, because they're going to hide you, because you don't deserve to be seen by gentle population and graceful public. ExpressVPN is going to reroute 100% of your traffic through secure encrypted servers. Every single, and these are fancy servers too. Not just t-shirts and shit. They've got the bow ties on. They're carrying the big fancy trays with one hand. These encrypted servers will hide your nefarious activities online.
No, let's not talk about nefarious activities. The things that you are doing online that some
you don't
internet service providers would maybe that's a way to look at it. It doesn't have to be illicit or whatever you said.
Hey,
complicit.
some internet service providers, as soon as you watch Dumbo Does It Donkey Style on your computer, they're going to send you a letter saying, we want money or we're going to tell the school board that you are watching that donkey porn.
No, I'm pretty sure they'll just call the cops, and I don't think the internet. I don't think anyone
No,
is
they only call the
offering
cops
that.
if you don't pay. Some of these internet service providers, the big names, they only call the cops if you won't pay. But you can't be held over a barrel like this, ladies. That's why you got to get ExpressVPN to make sure that these people, these internet service providers, they don't know what you're doing, where you're going, where you are. You'll be like Tony Khan to them, a complete mystery, a conundrum, an enigma. Fire up the app, click one button, get protected. Your phone, your laptop, your tablets. I guess tablets as well as capsules, pill form, whatever kind of pills you take, it'll work on here too. And it's rated #1 by top tech reviewers like CNET and The Verge. You've been on The Verge before, Brian, haven't you? I was right on the edge a couple of weeks ago, but I managed to talk myself back. But folks, protect your online privacy today by visiting. What are you doing over there? You're on The Verge right now, aren't you? Doing something you shouldn't be doing on Zoom.
That is not what I'm doing. Why would that be the example you use?
Visit expressvpn.com/JCE. I'll spell it for you. expressvpn.com/JCE. You're going to get an extra 3-month service for free with that code word /JCE. And by the time ExpressVPN gets finished with you, nobody's going to know what country you're in or how to find you, and you'll love it. So enjoy Bolivia, folks, because you're fixing to take a trip. expressvpn.com/JCE, 3 months for free. How could you?
How could you?
How could you?
How?
And in 3 months, money may not be of import to you, but right now you got to save it. So there you go. 3 months for free. expressvpn.com/JCE.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Did you notice the part of the copy that said, please select one of the numbered items?
Well, that wasn't enough. I like to give people their money's worth.
ExpressVPN, you'll get your money's worth with the ExpressVPN. What's that promo code, Jim?
JCE.